This is part 2 in a 2-part video series all about the Apple brand. I'll put a link in the description below to part 1. So in the first part, we looked at Apple's internal brand and how they set themselves up as a disruptor in that category, and they positioned the brand as something that was simple for the consumer and at odds with the existing tech giants and the jargon-fueled industry of the tech industry at the time. Now we've looked at the internal brand. In this video, we'll look at the external brand and how that was shaped by that internal brand and the position that Apple took. The only place to start when it comes to talking about Apple's external brand is, of course, its iconic Apple logo. The origins of this logo were explained in 1981 by Jobs himself in an interview where he explained that the idea of the Apple came from bringing simplicity to the public, but in the most sophisticated way. You could say that the original logo was anything but simple though, depicting Isaac Newton sat under the tree when the apple fell on his head just before he discovered gravity. So it was quite complex, it was illustrative, and it was very detailed. A long way away from the iconic Apple logo that we see today. Now over the years, the Apple logo has been simplified, both in colour and form, to the iconic and memorable symbol that you see today. Now this is something that has progressed over time. There's been an evolution with it, and that simplicity has made that symbol all the more iconic and easy to remember for the public and target audience. Whether a conscious decision or not, with Apple positioning itself outside the tech industry with its jargon heavy tech names and brand names, Apple using an organic symbol and brand name is actually a differentiator in itself. Apples have also historically and symbolically been used to represent freedom and knowledge, which plays into the idea of Apple and creativity setting you free. Colours and fonts. So Apple over the years has dabbled in different colours as part of its brand identity and its visual identity. And obviously the phase of the iMacs with the multicoloured backs and some of the advertising with the multicolours in it. But a lot of the main core of Apple's visual identity is monochrome. So it's black, white and greys. And the reason for this is, again, coming back to simplicity. And it's actually quite interesting that Apple has resisted the lure of using blue in the tech industry, which also ends up differentiating itself again from the rest of the pack. And it's this simplicity of design that you see throughout everything else they do as a brand. So you'll see it in the products, you'll see it in the stores, you'll see it in marketing. And they're very careful about keeping that simple, consistent, and focused on who they are and what they're trying to create. So the colours and fonts that Apple use are reflective of that simplicity. The Apple products themselves have actually gone through an evolution. So from the days of the multicoloured iMacs to the white MacBooks, which in itself was a differentiator when you think about laptops being dark and Apple coming out with light MacBooks, it was a differentiator at the time. But if you think about what the products are now in relation to the idea of simplicity, with their ultra sleek aluminium silvered finish products, it really does speak simplicity, high-end design and differentiation. And these products look like quality designed tools for creativity that should be treasured and looked after, as opposed to the plastic, brittle, generalized products from the market. They've extended the idea of simplicity from the core internal brand right the way through their visual identity, but also into their product design. And this filters into the iWatch, the iPhone and the iPad. And they all feel like they're part of a family of products that are all about simplicity, but giving people the ability to create, innovate, think and be different. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video so far, and comment below. Are you a fan of Apple's design? Do you like the way it looks? Do you think it's simple? Comment below. Apple's messaging. So Apple's messaging has recently become a little bit more pedestrian than its old rebellious self, but it still remains true to one core aspect, and that is simplicity. So if you look at all of Apple's marketing campaigns, if you look at their messaging on their website, it is all about simplicity. They are not trying to be overcomplicated, full of jargon. It is all about getting the message across quickly and concisely. This is most evident on the website, on the product pages. Now, if you look at a competitor's website who does similar products, so desktop computers or laptops, you will find jargon-heavy content that is really confusing if you're not too sure on what these certain things mean or what they do. On Apple's website, you will find simplicity. They're trying to help you to understand what this machine can do for you, as opposed to just giving you a list of all of the things that are inside the machine. They are telling you what it does for you and how it fits into your life. And that makes it simple and easy for you to understand and to take on board what this can do for you and decide quicker whether or not you want to invest in it. Apple's marketing campaigns. Now, if you want an example of how to be simple in your marketing and bring technology to the masses, or the idea of technology to the masses, then look no further than Apple's marketing campaigns. Everything from the Think Different campaign to the Mac versus PC to the silhouette ads for the iPod with the white headphones, they're all very simple in execution, but they deliver big in terms of message. But they say things in a way that is so focused and so concise that it's memorable and they stick with you. And that's due to the focus and simplicity of those campaigns. There is no way we'd be talking about Apple today without some of those campaigns and how they change things for the brand and for the industry and for the consumer. So things like the Think Different campaign were the start of something for Apple that really cemented it in the mind of the audience. It was a counterculture rally to the tribe it was trying to reach, and they responded. And that was because the message was simple and clear. Apple stores. So following on the theme of simplicity, you can't get more simple than Apple stores. They are completely designed around the idea of simplicity, of flow, so you can flow around the store, and also you can try the products really easily. The spaces are also very well lit. They've got a lot of natural light coming in, as well as the light from the store itself. But all of it gives you this sort of feeling of creativity, of innovation. It feels like somewhere where something could be created, an idea could spring out of something. And what Apple has managed to do with the stores is create an experience that is akin to that internal brand promise. So the idea of bringing simplicity and technology to the masses so that everybody can be part of the future is something that you see in their stores, and that is not by mistake. If you want to see a brand that is completely aligned, that understands who it is, why it exists, and who it's trying to reach, go to an Apple store, pick up an Apple product, see an old Apple ad, and just understand that's how you create a brand, an aligned, unified brand that stands the test of time. Key takeaway: like Apple, take some time to get completely clear on who you are as a brand, what you're focused on, what is your purpose, what is your vision, what is your mission, and what are your values. If you understand these, then the rest will be a lot easier when it comes to the external brand. So like Apple, get clear, get focused, stay unified through everything you do as a brand. The first step to having a completely unified brand like Apple's is to look at where you're strong, where you're not so strong, and how you can improve. Now, one of the ways to do this is to do a brand audit, and another way is to do our free brand health check assessment, which is an online assessment. It's 25 questions, it takes about 4 minutes, and you get a free personalized report that will tell you which areas of your brand you're being held back on and which you're strong in. So if you're interested in doing that, there is a link in the description below, and it will give you a personalized report that you can use when developing your brand. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe using the button below and hit the bell notifications so that you'll be notified every time a new video drops. Videos come out weekly and they're designed to help you unlock your brand's potential so you can stand out from the competition and create impact. Have a great week, catch up soon, and keep those brands unified.